Are you a man seeking deep meaning in your role as a husband, father, and a leader? Join us for a powerful gathering of Spiritual Men Forum led by seasoned spiritual leader who understand the unique strength and silent battle men faces in marriage and family life. This Thursday and every third Thursday of the month, live on Azrael TV YouTube channel from 8 p.m. to 11 p.m. Why you must attend this candid conversation of marital challenges, fatherhood, and emotional health, spiritual guidance on healing, leadership, and legacy. A brotherhood of men who seek strength in faith and truth, break cycle, build a family, be transformed. Featuring dynamic spiritual leader and relationship mentor, Prophet Dr. Samo Mtishiby, who will equip you to lead your home with clarity, compassion, and conviction. When a man rises in spirit, is all family. Are you a man seeking deep meaning in your role as a husband, father, and a leader? Join us for a powerful gathering of spirit.
Azrael TV, activating, guiding, and inspiring souls to experience, operate, and live under the open heavens. Voice of the Potter's Messengers Ministry International is reaching out to you to partner with us today. As we continue with the mission mandated by Christ to preach the gospel to the world, we are calling for your financial support. This, together with every other contribution you make to the ministry, will help us reach more souls, making men disciples of Jesus Christ. Call or send a WhatsApp message to 0759 265 819 for more details on how to become a partner today. Voice of the Potter's Messengers Ministry International, you and us united together for the Great Commission.
Shalom, brothers and sisters in Christ. This is an open invitation to everyone who wishes to join Prophet Samo Mtishiby Partners team. Emmanuel, our Savior, in Matthew chapter 9, verse 37, says, "The harvest is plenty, but the workers are few." This is to say that there are a lot of persons who need to be reached, cared for, and brought back to Yahweh. Prophet Samo has a heavenly assignment to reach many with the gospel of true love and grace of Yahweh. You too can join this mission through your partnership, and together through your financial support to the gospel of Christ, you will enable Prophet to reach more souls with the true knowledge and revelation of the Word. The benefits experienced by our partners include direct access to consult with Prophet as need may arise, prophetic prayer moments with the Prophet, where as a person you may want Prophet to pray with you. Prophet intercedes into your spiritual issues for your own betterment. You are recorded in the Kingdom Investment Heavenly Books, which will grant you a place one day in eternity. Together, join hands as a partner with Prophet Samo if truly you have benefited from his teachings to expand his reach to many souls globally for Christ. To be a partner, send a message to our ministry line +254 759 265819, and you will be given more information. We welcome you to this great team. Shalom.
Those who need it most. Azrael TV, activating, guiding, and inspiring souls to experience, operate, and live under the open heavens. Voice of the Potter's Messengers Ministry International is reaching out to you to partner with us today. As we continue with the mission mandated by Christ to preach the gospel to the world, we are calling for your financial support. This, together with every other contribution you make to the ministry, will help us reach more souls, making men disciples of Jesus Christ. Call or send a WhatsApp message to 0759 265 819 for more details on how to become a partner today. Voice of the Potter's Messengers Ministry International, you and us united together for the Great Commission.
Shalom, brothers and sisters in Christ. This is an open invitation to everyone who wishes to join Prophet Samo Mtishiby Partners team. Emmanuel, our Savior, in Matthew chapter 9, verse 37, says, "The harvest is plenty, but the workers are few." This is to say that there are a lot of persons who need to be reached, cared for, and brought back to Yahweh. Prophet Samo has a heavenly assignment to reach many with the gospel of true love and grace of Yahweh. You too can join this mission through your partnership, and together through your financial support to the gospel of Christ, you will enable Prophet to reach more souls with the true knowledge and revelation of the Word. The benefits experienced by our partners include direct access to consult with Prophet as need may arise, prophetic prayer moments with the Prophet, where as a person you may want Prophet to pray with you. Prophet intercedes into your spiritual issues for your own betterment. You are recorded in the Kingdom Investment Heavenly Books, which will grant you a place one day in eternity. Together, join hands as a partner with Prophet Samo, if truly you have benefited from his teachings, to expand his reach to many souls globally for Christ. To be a partner, send a message to our ministry line, +254 759 265819.
Every man carries a story of victories won, battles fought, faith tested. And here we dive into stories and discover what truly it means to be a man as God intended him to be. We tackle questions that every man wrestles with on a daily basis. How do I lead a family with the strength and gentleness? Where do I find peace when everything feels chaotic? What legacy will I leave when the dust settles? Each week we bring real conversations, powerful testimonies, and practical steps in God's Word, because you don't need a throne to be a king in your house. Shalom, everyone, and welcome in the name of Yeshua HaMashiach to the place where God made men aspire, lead, and live on purpose. Here we substitute the biblical concept of manhood. Men who love their families, give back to their communities, maintain their truth for the world. From VPM Mlolongo, my name is Moses. Most welcome as we tackle this. And tonight, to help us navigate through this, through the prophetic eyes, we are going to have our own prophet, Dr. Samo Mtishiby, to help us through.
Thank you so much.
Prophet, most welcome.
Thank you.
In the beginning, a man and man in the Bible, in creation. Who is man?
In the beginning, from the beginning, who is a man? Man is an idea, a living an idea. Man is living idea of God. Man is the highest technology of God. Man is the image, the shadow. In other words, I can say man is a photo of God. Mm-hmm. Now, the easiest way to put it is that man is God. Because one, he's an idea of God. So, who is he? An idea of what? God. Let us let us create a man. Who is having the idea? God. How shall a man look like? He has to look like something. Then the committee, whoever God was talking to, they say, let him be in your image.
First Genesis 26 and 27.
So let him be in your image. So this thing that is looking an image of something, an image of a cat is a cat. An image of a dog is a dog. So if an image of a cat is a cat and the image of a dog is a dog, then what is the image of a God? A God.
So man is not mere biology.
No. And it's because of this. So one thing that many people have never realized, many Christians and many believers, they tend to believe this thing in this manner. Many people believe it in this way, that man was the last thing to be created. No, man was the first thing to be created.
In the story of creation.
In the story of creation, man was the first thing to be created. Because there was a debate.
Yes.
And in the debate, they all agreed they are going to create the man. But there were some other questions that were involved in the discussion which are not documented in the Bible. Like, where shall this man dwell? That's why the idea of a garden comes in. Okay, the man is going to dwell in a garden. What kind of a garden? And where can we place the garden? So the earth was chosen among the planets. The garden was to be placed there. So what makes a garden to be a garden? It is what God now started putting out in 5 good days. Then when everything was done that God and the system felt a man will need and a man will require, then now the idea of let us. So let us, it's not a first thought. It is like to say, good, we have done preparation. Now, let us. You know, we think of a wedding,
Yes.
then we do preparation, then now we come and do the wedding. Getting the point?
Yes.
We think of a wedding. We start the preparation of the wedding. Then now when all the preparations, when all the arrangements are done, now we come to wed. So we think of reception, dressing, entertainment, who are the people we are inviting. So 5 days it was preparation to the man who was the real cause of the creation. And so man is simply a God. So inside the man, the flesh man you see, there is a God in it. And that's why when you read into the Bible, you have seen men who went to the higher rank of earthly authorities behaving as gods.
Like a god.
You know? And that's why you see Pharaoh behaving as a god. That's why you see Nebuchadnezzar behaving as a god. That's why you see Herod behaving as a god. And even today we still have people who behave like God. Because that godly thing, it's in every male creature.
So, as it is, not mere biology, but rationality, morality, the creativity, the relational capacity, like
Yes.
our own.
And that's why man
likeness.
is the only creature that has given God the hardest time ever.
Simply because
They are the idea of God. They are in the likeness of God. They are in the image of God. They are dwelling in the plan of God. And so if God destroys a man completely, then it means he's a failure. He came up with an idea that he cannot manage.
breathing life into this God, that is in Genesis, 2 Genesis 2:7.
Yes.
That, the person now starts flowing and moves, and life has been breathed into this person. So let's measure on this human. Let's measure on this male being, and also being Men's Mental Month. The masculinity of this creation in relation to what we're experiencing now. What is it that a male should focus on or should know about themselves? First things first.
First, a man is a living thing. So a man is a production of life. And the Lord said, let the man be a living thing. So God is a living being. A man is a living thing. They are all living.
All right.
God
Living.
is a living being. As we say, he's a spirit.
Yes.
A man is a living thing.
Physical.
Yes. Physical. Now, in the living thing, there are things that a man must do. So, first and foremost, every man must know that the way we have been wired, the way men are wired, is totally different with the way women are wired. So our wiring is different. That's the reason why God accused Adam by telling him, because you chose. So Adam made a choice. You chose to listen. You chose to listen to the woman. You chose to listen. Why did God use the word you chose? Because the way a man is wired is totally different with the way a woman is wired. Our wiring is totally different. Look at this. How many ribs do we have in total? Several. But just one rib made a woman. It's like a plane that has got several engines, but one engine makes another plane.
Another plane.
One rib makes a woman, but the other ribs are left. So which means we have more lives than women. We have more life. Then we are wired differently. From women. Why do I say that we are wired different from women? Because the Bible puts it very clear. From the dust, from the ground, a man was formed. But from the flesh and the rib, a woman was formed. So, for men, nature understands us. Nature does not understand women. And if you want to get a very clear example, just go to a national game park here. Just here in Nairobi. Carry a porch. Give a woman a porch. Walk where there are chimpanzees, baboons, and monkeys. See what they will do to a woman. Even if she's putting on a trouser, they understand that is a woman. They will harass her, but they will not try that to a man. Even if you give him a skirt, because one was created from the real nature, another one was made from what has been made.
A complete product.
A complete product.
So the womb is a byproduct of a product.
A product. So that's why when Adam woke up, was very clear to say you shall be called a woman. You are a byproduct. You know? Yeah. You are a byproduct. So nature understands that. Even back at home, cows, a woman stands to, caution a behavior, a character in a cow. The cow will look at the woman straight into the eyes, and it might strike. But send a small boy, it will run. Because it's not about the size, it's about
the spirit.
The spirit. This is a creation from the system. Let me tell you something. This one, and I'm speaking as a prophet. If you have sex with your wife, you go deep, she will conceive a boy. During sex, you go deep, she will conceive a boy. You go outer during the ejaculation. When she's ready, she'll conceive a girl.
Ladies and gentlemen, grab your coffee. Don't go to the practicals as we proceed. Man in Genesis 28, first chapter of Genesis. So we're talking about the responsibilities now that has been entrusted on this creature, on this being, the male. Dominion and stewardship.
And to rule a woman.
And to rule
a woman.
A woman.
That is from God's own mouth. Three things. Before he sinned, he was to take care to dominate all things that were created. After the sins, he should now rule the woman. That's what God says. I think it's in Genesis chapter 3. That's exactly what God says. And because of, you shall give birth in pain, and your desire shall be on your husband or your man, and because of your desire he shall rule you. That is God speaking.
Before sin, there was no rule over. It was dominate.
It was dominate.
After sin,
rule yes,
comes in. It is the masculine, the masculinity,
and
the male.
And that's why the entire Bible talks about submission. Submission to women. Submitting to what? To the rule.
Then what is this that a man should focus on to establish themselves on the God-intended given role?
Number one, a man should know that he is a ruler. And so there are areas you have to compromise. There are areas you don't need to compromise. There are areas you have to listen, and there are areas you have to order. A king who has no order is a servant. How shall he be served? And that's why a king must have order. But what kind of orders do you carry? You must have justice, righteousness, fairness. Then you are a good king. But imagine you are a king whereby everything that comes, your work is to say yes, 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 yes. No. A king has got three principles that God has given to him: to forgive, to take away life, and to bless. So those who do good, a king should award and reward them. Those who do bad, a king has a right to take away their lives, and he will not be cautioned because he's a king, and to punish them. But God looks at it from one point: how just are you? So man, God looks at you from several angles. Angle number one of God is that you must be a ruler. A ruler. Now, let's look at the word a ruler from a practical life. In mathematics, what is a ruler? A device that gives you a straight line, either vertical or horizontal. And if it's not vertical and if it's not horizontal, it is diagonal.
But a straight line.
But it is a straight line. It has no curve. That is a ruler. So when God says you shall be ruled, it means a man will put principles that should suit
the system.
The system. Why? Because when God was telling man, I've given you dominion, a woman was not yet made. A woman had not been formed. So there are things that God told a man that a woman didn't hear. So God is telling now, go and rule according to what I talked to you earlier. So number one, God sees a man as a ruler. Yeah. And so if you don't have rules, and if you cannot create rules, then you are not worthy to be a man. And because you are not a woman, you are an animal. And it's biblical. If you don't exercise rules as a man, then you cannot be a woman. You only become an animal. How? Proof? Yes. When God punished Nebuchadnezzar, who was a king, what did he turn into?
An animal.
That's it. So when God doesn't find rules in you, God sees you as an animal.
Dominion, rulership, and the design where power and authority came upon man was when now God tells man, now that you decided to listen to the woman, that is now when power and authority is now handed officially,
yes,
to the masculine,
to rule a woman. But what will make you rule a woman? Not because you are a man. Now get this.
Yes.
God is telling man, you are a ruler. But what makes you to have authority to rule a woman? Not because you are a man again.
Not because
there is a secret.
Biology.
There is a secret in it.
Not the male.
Not the male part. No. Not the image of God part.
Yes.
No. God is telling a woman the desire. Now, what is the desire of a woman? Let's go to the straight, because we are here to speak things as they are. What is the desire of a woman? When a girl is 10 years, the mother will protect her against anything that can harm her sexually. When a girl is of age, she is protected and trained and taught to avoid sexual characters and sexual behaviors. That is what every girl is brought up knowing that it is wrong. But when she becomes of good age, she is sent to go and do the same thing she was being denied to do, she was being protected from. So now when you marry a woman, how many things do you think she has left in their home? Her father might be more richer than even where she's going. Her father may have been more loving than even the love that you, the husband, you will offer. Maybe from their home, they have got big buildings and proper and good investments than even where she's going. But why does she have to leave? What is it all about? People will call them names. In Luo, they say she has gone to cook. In Luya, they say she has gone to cook. But what cooking is this that she was not cooking
back at home?
Back at home. Which cooking is this? It's nothing but sex. So when God says your desire, God is strictly talking about sex. So step number 1 to rule a woman is sexual.
Okay. You still have your coffee? Point noted. Number 1.
It's sexual. And because men are wired different and men have different capacity and strength, that's what determines. When you hear a man has snatched a woman or a wife of another man, there was sex involved. And the man who came next was better than the man who was there before, that marriage will die. Because by sex, you can control a woman. Regardless of the position. In life, we normally say this. A woman can multitask. She can be cooking, washing, and looking at the kids. She can do so many things at the same time. Sex is the only thing that a woman can never multitask.
The focus has to be there.
All her focus is there. She's in it or she's not in it. Full stop. And sex is the only thing that a woman doesn't know how to pretend. Yes. The rest of the things a woman can pretend.
She can.
Sex is the only thing that a woman thinks twice before she gets into it. Before she does it, she thinks
twice.
She asks herself 1,000 questions before she says yes. So whenever a woman has an issue in submission sexually, she tells you, wait, things are not right. Because when she's on the peak of her joy, that is the first thing she feels to offer. That is the first thing. Deep down, she feels she should offer. But not all women have the power to say, can I offer you? Some will trigger you. Some want it, but they don't know how to tell you. They wait. They can be patient until it. Sex is the only thing that you deny a woman and she wanted it in the evening or at night. In the morning you have quarrels. And if you're not careful, she can even run away.
So the man...
Sex is the only thing that defines a honest, faithful woman and an honest woman. Look, this, Moses. In your house, your wife can serve your brother anything and everything except sex. If you come today and you find your wife has served your brother a cup of tea, will you fight?
No.
If you come, you find your wife has given your brother food, will you fight?
You don't fight.
In fact, you feel this woman is very caring. But if you come, you find your wife has served your brother sexual food, will you say she's caring?
It's a different ball game altogether.
That's it. That's it. That's the thing. So when God says, your desire man shall rule you, God was not talking about any other desire. God was talking about sexual desire. Because there are two things here working hand in hand. You shall give birth in pain. How does a woman give birth if there was no sex? But God says, out of it, a man shall rule you. That's why we always say, if you want to lose your daughter, compromise on sex issues. When your daughter starts thinking about sex and you feel she has a long life to take, she has a journey, become as hard, as terrible, as dangerous as a lion that you can. Instill fear. That will make her concentrate. Because once a girl child starts entertaining sex, that head is corrupt. You cannot train it. It's only sex that can make a woman walk at night 10 kilometers alone and she fears nothing, only to reach to whoever the man is. But after it is done, she cannot go back alone. She's afraid.
And now this is something that the man should be able to know and focus on.
It is sex.
Not as a secondary but primary.
Culturally, whenever there is a disagreement between a man and a woman and the parents are brought in, the first thing they normally check, if it is perfect, it's sexual, their sexual life. Before the son-in-law comes, the mother will ask the daughter, do you serve him well? If you have an argument with a woman and you are taking a case to their family, whenever she realizes you want to raise issues concerning sexual life, she will withdraw that case quickly. If she's sure that what you are talking about is true.
If she's guilty, she withdraws.
If she's sure, she's willing even to kneel and beg for forgiveness. If she's sure that truly your complaints have
Valid.
weight, they are valid.
They're valid reasons.
When it's related with sex. Let me tell you a story. Once upon a time, there was a man who wanted to chase the wife. So he sent the wife and told the wife, go home, I will come and we solve this matter. I want us to divorce. And the woman said, fine, I will go home. So when the man went to pay a visit, the case was held. The man talked, and the woman was just quiet. And then the woman was asked, do you have anything to say? And she said, let him finish and Maybe if he thinks there is anything of mine I can go and take, as long as he promised he will give me, may have no problem. The man knew he is wealthy. He knew the woman will say some money, some what, you know. So the man said, fine, if I've got anything which you think is yours, you can come and take it. And the woman said, yeah, there is something of mine that you have. If you give me that, we'll divorce. And the man said, what is it? Go and take. And the woman said, I don't need to come and take it. You have it here. You came with it. I want you to give me your manhood, because that is mine. And we'll divorce. And if you can't give me that, then I'm going nowhere. Because that is what made me to leave home here. My father had everything. And as you can see, we are not poor here. So that's the only thing you have mine. Are you willing to give me? Do you know the man had to go back with his wife? That marriage was not dissolved. Because the elder said, fine, give her what belongs to her. Then the marriage will be brought to an end. How do you do that?
The missing link in, again, the male. That's what I'm going back to. And not knowing that the man or the male has a tool that is meant for him to dominate. Not knowing that this is a tool that I'm supposed to use to dominate.
Do you know what?
Yes.
We say male figure is all about muscular. That part of the body is made of what?
Muscles.
There's no bone there.
Yes.
It's fully muscular. And it is only thing on a human being called a man that can arise by itself. So it has its own life. My friend, you cannot stretch it. It arises by itself. It arises by itself. So it's the only part of the body that has its own independent life. And not attached to any organ, but to direct your mind. That's why we say sex is mind. And remember, Jesus said, love God with all your soul, spirit, and mind. Now look at something on your body that is attached to your mind. So it's not just an organ. It's an organ of life. And that's why our old-aged parents, education was surrounding sexual life. Discipline was all about sexual life. Culture was all about sexual life. Look at the value, look at the culture, African culture. It's all about, and even today, the discipline of holiness is around sexual life. That's what it is. You know, it's all about. Sodom and Gomorrah had many sins, but the sin that is appearing stronger than other sin is their sexual life sin, their sexual life. Get the point? Yes. So, first, a man needs to understand the perspective of God. God gave man dominion, but he also gave man rulership, to rule a woman. But in which manner? Ruling a woman in a manner that a woman should submit, and it is attached to the desires of a woman. That's why, senior, you have seen rich men, some are even governors, or some are governors, rich great men, their wives being taken away by watchmen. And they have never turned back, because anything that a man can do, a woman can do it better, except that one. So, what a man need to understand, and what many men need to teach their sons, is sexual life. Sexual life. You know, I want to talk of a story of a boy that I know. This boy, every time the mother could wash him, after the mother is done with washing the body and everything, the mother could take water and start hitting the organ of the boy, cold water, to see how quick the young man responds. And if the young man could respond quickly, then the mother knows, I'm bringing up a man. But if the young man could delay in responding, then the mother start knowing that this child of mine might have a problem with marriage life.
Another sip of your coffee? That's another lesson. How often does you, as a doctor or the nurse, perform that procedure, for that matter?
But many mothers have left that work to maids. So you are bringing up a son with big body, with tall bones, but nothing.
So we have moved from the major or the grown up. Now we are coming down to first of all see the basis of what was supposed to be, and it's supposed to be on top there. So this boy here,
there's something very nice that I want us to read. The book of Isaiah chapter 4. Let's just go into the book of Isaiah chapter 4.
We don't want to use the Bible as a point of hiding, but as a point of fact and revelation when it comes to this.
Exactly. Isaiah chapter 4. Let me check if I have a Bible here. Isaiah chapter 4.
Isaiah chapter 4.
Let me check here. Isaiah chapter 4. Let me look at it first. Is it Isaiah chapter? No, Isaiah chapter 8.
8.
Yes. Let's start with Isaiah chapter 8. It will bring me what I want. I don't know if you have found it.
Yes.
Can you read for us? Mine is NIV. Read yours. What does it say?
Isaiah chapter 8 from verse
1.
From verse 1. I'm reading from the Amplified Classic Version. Then the Lord said to me, take a large tablet of wood, metal, or stone, and write upon it with a graving tool and in ordinary characters which the humblest man can read, belonging to Mahal-Shazal, the Assyrian.
Verse 1 alone.
Hasten to the spoil.
No, verse 1.
Verse 1.
Only verse 1.
Yes, verse 1. That's verse 1. That's verse 1.
The Lord, okay, my version NIV says, the Lord said to me, take a large scroll and write on it with an ordinary pen.
Yes.
Maher Shalal Hash Baz. Now, let me just talk about that part and talk about the ancient time. God is telling Isaiah to take what? A large scroll. So which means there is a small scroll. Which means there is a medium scroll. God is saying take a large
scroll.
Every parent must be able to know and must be able to answer this question. Mothers. And every man should be able to answer this question. And every woman should be able to answer this question. If I ask you today a simple question, how much do you have in the bank? You can tell me. If I ask you how many lands do you have? You can tell me. If I ask you how many vehicles do you have? You can tell me. But if I ask you a simple question, what is the size of your manhood? Can you answer it?
There's another one. Are we still there?
It was because of the size of the manhood, parents were involved in selecting a woman for a son. The father knows my boy is 4 inch. He cannot live with this woman who is probably 6 or 8 size of elasticity of her vagina. This marriage will not work. So they could tell this woman does not fit our son, and that son of ours cannot fit this lady because what he carries might harm this lady. Getting the point? And this is the reason why many marriages are breaking.
You are being led by sight.
You look at the face, but you don't consider down there. My friend, even scientists were not foolish to have invented machineries with something called horsepower.
Okay.
They were not stupid.
The power.
And yet they are scientists. They know the horsepower.
This can draw this amount of
This
energy.
can draw this amount. So we need this kind of power. This is this kind of power. It requires this kind of power. That's why we have 2-stroke, 1-stroke, 2-stroke, 4-stroke, 5-stroke, until currently we have 12-stroke. And those are domestic machineries. That's why we have V12. Those are vehicles with 12 cylinders. Even the kind of iron, metal, made for them, the kind of material they are using on those vehicles, you cannot dare it for 4-cylinder, 1000 cc. That thing itaguruma na itaenda, because the weight of the body itself is heavier than the engine. So kuguruma itaguruma lakini haitaenda. It will start but it will not move. So this is the reason why many marriages are breaking, because some men can start but they cannot move that engine. What happened? Very few women can tell you, I'm walking out because you are not real man. And to pregnant a woman does not mean you are a man. You can because pregnancy is the seed, what comes out of you. But I'm talking of submission that comes out of satisfaction.
So who is going to have this conversation with the man who is a work in progress? He hasn't gotten to that level. But again, this work in progress that is going to be finished at some point when this man becomes of age, to know that when time comes, I will focus on this capacity. How candid is that conversation going to help, and how is it transformed?
It is all based on nutrition. It's all based on nutrition. That's why as a woman you must know what you are feeding your man.
Watu wa kukula misheveve na kukula spaghetti, are we together?
It's all about based on nutrition. And that's why the Bible is so ironical and so wise. We talk of Eve bringing the fruit, but have we ever gone beyond that? What else are we seeing apart from the fruit? She was outside there looking for the right thing to feed the man. That's when she was deceived. So she was on her daily duty until she encountered the enemy. So as a woman, what are you feeding your man?
Okay.
As a mother, what are you feeding your sons? You are full of snacks and you are a woman. You come, you pass through KFC, chips. You don't give your son real food, and this son is growing to become a man. What do you expect? That's why he looks so handsome. He marries within 2 months, that marriage is over.
Could that be now the reason that you can say that masculinity has evolved over time out of one, what you can talk about, what we are taking in today and what they used to take in then?
The answer is yes. But as I said, I will base my speech according to the mind of God. Mm-hmm. And I will use the Bible to confirm, mm-hmm. but not as a tool of hiding.
Yes.
I don't want to use the Bible as a tool of hiding, mm-hmm. but I want to use the Bible as a point of confirmation, but speak the mind of God. Mm-hmm. Who created food?
God himself.
Why did he create food?
For man.
Because he knew he's going to create a man.
Mm-hmm.
Get it?
Yes.
And even in the law of Moses, God is giving Israelites specific instructions, to an extent that he even says a fruit that has no seed in it, mm-hmm. should not be eaten. Scientifically, fruits with seeds, they are medicinal and they have positive impact. Mm-hmm. There are some fruits that even the seeds themselves, it's what is taken and converted into the medicine we are taking from pharmacies. Mm-hmm. Getting the point?
Yes.
So God had seen that and is instructing from the prophets. Getting the point?
Yes.
Let me tell you something. There are two things here that I want to talk about. If Lot didn't know what he was doing by pregnating his daughters, then the daughters knew what they had put in the wine, so that he could go drunk but still function. Because a drunk man never rises.
There was something that was put in.
Either he knew what he was doing, mm-hmm. he was just hiding,
yes.
behind alcohol, mm-hmm. or
there was something
the daughters did, that the man in him can go blackout, but the manhood on him can still stand and say, I'm alive, mm-hmm. I am here. Mm-hmm. Yes. Who dare question me? I'm the king. Those are the two things. So we are here to ask Lord when we reach heaven, because I have to look for him, mm-hmm. and ask him, Mr. Sir, tell me, did you just go blackout? You are drunk and this thing you just happened, it happened and you didn't know, or what, did you hide behind wine? Mm-hmm. Because with my experience, I've never drank wine, but I remember the days my father used to drink. He could even sleep kwa mtaro, mimi nenda kumbeba. He doesn't know himself. And when he wakes up in the morning, you tell him you did this, you said this, you insulted so and so, you fought with so and so. He says he can't do that because he was drunk. Getting the point?
Yes.
Yes.
Well, it is coming to a revelation that all said and done, there's a job to be done by the fathers and the mothers, and this conversation needs to be getting deeper. And as we continue, we go back again, looking at this being, because it's a man's forum, issues of eating well, living well, talking about even exercising, not only just eating and sitting down. The masculinity part.
Look at this. God is telling Isaiah something very nice. Mm-hmm. Go and get a large scroll.
A large scroll.
When you go to verse 2, look at now what it is all about. Let's just go to verse 2. What does it say? So I called in Uriah the priest and Zachariah son of
Jeberechiah, mm-hmm.
as a reliable witness for me. Verse 3. Then I made love to the prophetess, and she conceived and gave birth to a son. And the Lord said to me, Name him Mahar Shalal Hash Baz. So this prophetess, she was the big scroll. So she was big scroll. So probably it means, and God is talking about the pen. So God looked at the pen. Let's go back there. Let's look at that book. Write with ordinary pen. Verse 1. Get what? A large scroll.
Stone.
Then write on it with an ordinary pen. So what was the ordinary pen? So what Isaiah was carrying, God knew it needed. It was a pen that needed a large scroll, not a medium scroll. So this is where life has messed up. And the church, we are not teaching the children of God the truth of the mind of God. And that's why there is the highest level of divorce they are found in the church. We unite weddings, but within a short time, the rings become stones for hitting one another. Because there are problems that we have not discovered.
This lesson, this interaction, this one-on-one candid talk of telling Luca, you are a four-stroke. I don't know the business that you're having with
A two-stroke.
a two-stroke.
Yes. You are a four-stroke.
How and where?
This comes from parental. It's all about parental. And we have got two types of parents. We have the physical parents and the spiritual parents. Like today, I will urge every man from here, get into the bathroom, get a ruler, know your size, know your length, know your diameter.
Did you hear that? Right?
Because if you don't know your size, when the rains will start beating you, you will not know.
What would the size have to do with what I'm doing?
What does the size have to do?
And
but
what I have
you
to do.
ever heard a riddle where all women say they are looking for tall, dark, and handsome? Do you think it's physical? It's not outside, my friend. This man gets into the heat, so he has to be dark. Come on, let me speak in riddle so that people can raise, I want to believe, even if little children are watching this program, it's a lesson that will help their future. So let no one say this prophet, he's indisciplined, he doesn't, because that child is a child today. Tomorrow he will not be a child. And maybe what he gaps, what he collects today will save his or her life tomorrow. So let no one say this prophet, I think he's not under control. What control do we need here? Because these are the teachings that our forefathers used to teach people, but education of mathematics took it away from us. That's why we are learned, we speak good English, but we have frustrated lives. Because it reaches a time when life is not about your mathematics. Your account does not matter. Your physics does not matter. Your English, your grammar, your language does not matter. That is for the brain. Now life needs real thing, real creational thing. It reaches a time your English does not matter, no matter how you speak fluent English.
How?
So when they say they are looking for two things, women normally look for two things in a man. They are looking for God-fearing and tall, dark, and handsome. Have you ever heard since you were born, tall, white, handsome, white, dark? Are we all dark?
No.
People from America, they are not dark. People from China, they are not dark. But why is that saying equal everywhere? Because, my friend, inside the human living, a living human being, there is flow of blood, so there is heat. So look at an organ of muscular that gets in a heat. It can never be white. It has to be dark. So they are saying it has to be dark but tall.
Okay.
Yes.
This
And handsome. So handsome, it is not about the face. It is one, a man must know the size of his tool, and he must know how to use that tool. So there are some men who have the real tool, but they don't know how to use it. So know your size, then know how to use it. Not all vehicles are handwrite. Not all vehicles are right hand. Some vehicles are left hand. Okay? Yes. Not all vehicles are manual. Some are automatic. So if we go back to the book of Isaiah, we can see how God is talking to his prophet. God is telling the prophet first to find a large scroll. Now in verse 3 we are seeing this large scroll is a woman, and she's a prophetess. So this is a prophet going to a prophetess, not just any ordinary woman. That's why in the ancient time a witch could only marry from a family of witches, and they will bring up a very compatible life. But today our daughters don't know whom to turn to, our sons don't know whom to go to because of Facebook, YouTube, and that's why we have so many pieces of broken relationships. Yes.
I'm trying to look at this situation of the father and the son sitting down and having this candid conversation. Do you think that the men that they are there today cannot be able to face this reality?
Not that they cannot be able to face. Listen, I only teach you what I was taught. So if they themselves, their fathers were not taught, what are they going to teach their children? Look, we are having a meeting here. I'm calling things as they are, because that's the only right way. Imagine if I was to start quoting words here. Who will benefit from this program? I've not wasted my time to come and sit here and entertain people. I've decided to come and sit here so that what comes out of my mouth can transform and change a life, can remove some foolishness in the head of somebody somewhere.
Number one,
let me tell you something. The organs of a man are external. The organs of a woman are internal. So how do you satisfy her?
you mean you have to get in?
Exactly. Our organs are external. The testicles and everything, they are external. But a woman, her organs are internal. How do you? If you are a man of KFC, unakula ugali na kijiko. Unaletewa ugali unakula na kijiko, uma. My friend.
Does this mean that there is lack of the purpose to contribute to better masculinity or the better male, number one, from the man, leave alone the woman, but for the man, lack of contribution?
There are so many men outside here who are rich, who buy their wives cars and very good things that are being used by other men outside there, simply because you are a good banker but good for nothing.
Some sort of relationship empathy that could
You
be
see,
the case?
there are only two rules in a woman. If you have got good money and you cannot make it, then she will maintain you to serve, but she will go out to serve. So you are a service provider. but she will go outside there. That's why when she gets enough of it, there are two options. A honest woman will leave you with everything and go away. A corrupt woman will kill you and remain with everything and bring the man who can do it. And that's why there are so many men outside here dying mysterious deaths. Because if a woman poisons you, it will be very hard for people to suspect she's the one who did it. But can it be she's doing this to eliminate you because you have good education and you got a good job and you have done proper investment? But remember, investment is not what brought her.
Emotionally, would we say that these men are not like resilient?
Have you ever seen a place where 3, 4, 5 women are married to one man and they are all educated and highly learned?
Yes.
They fight, they quarrel, but no one is living. Until another one tells another one, you get out, toka wende. And the other one says, sitoki. But they are just there. Because when now the man that God created is moving, he rules them.
With power and authority.
No. Just use your mind.
With rules.
When the man is moving on their desires, he rules them.
People, we need to move to rule.
When the man is moving to their desires, he rules them. They will live until they grow old. And some even live when the man is dead, and they will never accept to be ruled by another man. Because the memory of how she used to be ruled by that particular man is fresh, perfect, and she's at peace.
Good enough.
Good enough. That's why when a woman is in love, how many students have you seen going with the school fees? She knows very well my father sold a piece of land for me to come to this college. But still she can afford to go with that money. And you will see her after 10 years with 4 or 5 kids. The day she comes back, it's after 10 years with 4 kids. Where did these kids come from? What contributed to those kids?
The man moved.
The man ruled the desire. So you have to train your daughter again, and you have to be very harsh. When it comes to that matter, you become very harsh. But you can only also win a daughter that you have managed to rule by love as a father. Make sure that your daughter knows that you are the best person with the love. And the rules are straight. So you keep the principal rules, the ruling of a father. Now the girl will not want to lose that love. That love will keep her until she finishes. Now when she gets into her life, she comes to understand that love was the best for her to achieve what she wanted. Now she has the freedom. But also talk about it. Tell your daughter about it. Tell your daughter, I know you're beautiful. I know this thing will come. I know this, but I will not allow this until you achieve this for me. Not knowing that what you want her to achieve is for her own good.
On that note, and that same statement, can you now do it again from the beginning, focusing and talking now to the boy? We've talked about now the girl, well and good, the do's and the don'ts. How about the young man?
To the boy.
Yeah.
Men, they just need simple things. Talk about ejaculation things to your sons when they reach that age. Talk about it. Tell your boy, you know what? You are 15 years, 17 years. You will start experiencing this. Yes. Walk with your boy. When you see your boy turning back, unamwambia naona ninajua nini unaangalia nini nyuma, hakuna nilikuwa naangalia ile mbao, unamwambia hapana ulikuwa unaangalia nyuma ule mama. Unaona anaangalia chini, anaibika. Mwambie yes. You know what? You must have a taste of what you want. what kind of a back do you want? A time will come when you will have to choose. So right now, even when you see as a window shopping. Don't see as an auctioneer. You want to do bidding. There's no bidding here.
Mambo bado.
Don't go for bidding. Go for window shopping. That's when a young man will choose perfectly a match of his life. And tell the young man, listen, my son, when you go for too big and you are too small, you will suffer. And when you go for too small and you are too big, you will always have problems. Because this woman will not withstand you consecutively 4 or 5 days. Yes, she cannot, because she's a human being. You go there, you leave her with bruises. What do you expect? She's in pain, that's why she cannot offer you in the morning. Because you are too much. So she will keep on traveling. Today I'm going to see my sister. Oh, there's an auntie of mine who lost some hair. The salon didn't do her good hair. I'm going to have a look at her. This woman is running away from something. Do you know what she's running away? You are too much. This woman is ever sick. You can't see why she's sick. You know. Because you are too much. You went for something there that's not your class. You cannot have it. It cannot withstand you. You know? Or you went for something that is too big for you. You know? Wewe unamaliza unaenda blackout. Yeah? There are women who are doing this. There are women who have never been satisfied by their husband. After sex, they go to the bathroom. They use their own toys. Some use their own fingers, just to make themselves reach the climax, which this man can never reach. By a mistake, akutana na kijana wa Solomon. By a mistake, she meets the son of a Solomon. That marriage is over.
What do you mean the son of a Solomon?
That is a wisdom. It's only he who has brain will understand.
So
we have got only 3 people on earth. Either you are meeting the son of Solomon, or the daughter of Jezebel, or the daughter of Sarah. There are 2 daughters. Either you are dealing with the daughter of Sarah or the daughter of Jezebel. Because the daughter of Sarah has the character of Sarah. And the Bible says Sarah submitted herself to Abraham. To an extent she referred to Abraham as
Master.
my Lord. So the daughter of Sarah do what Sarah does. But the daughter of Jezebel, firstborn is Delilah, followed by others and others. You getting this? Or you meet the son of Solomon. Yes. Because the Bible says Solomon had 1,000 women, but there's no way I've ever read even one divorced him. Neither have I ever read even one had a complaint and quarrel against Samson for no satisfaction.
Gentlemen, self-awareness happens to be one of the major things that is coming up. The other issue is in terms of integrity and responsibility that you're supposed to take up as a man. You know, and also issues that has to do with relationship or relational empathy. There's also that part of purposing to contribute. And then the emotional resilience, handling all this, one, in what you are and what is making what is right behind you. I hope you still have your cup of coffee. As we continue, the role, slightly, if we might move a little bit to the left, the role of the mother and the role of the woman in making the masculinity work, because there won't be domination, there won't be dominance if there is no the woman part of it. There will be no ruling if the woman won't be there. Being there as a woman the role to the son and the role to the man to make it complete.
The role of a man, probably to a woman, is not to bring food. When you bring food, never say you are doing your role. No. Read Genesis again. Who brought food to who?
She had gone to look for food.
No, let's go back to Genesis. Who brought food to who? Go back to the book of Proverbs chapter 31, a woman of noble character. What does it say? Who brings food? Who makes sure that at home lacks nothing? So let's go back to the Bible and read the Bible. Who brought food? Genesis. Who brought food? It was Eve who brought food to Adam. So that was not the first day. It means she was doing that again and again and again and again. But Adam was taking care of the trees that the woman was bringing. So you man go out and bring money. That's the tree. Let the woman go and buy food.
Okay.
Go bring money. It's the tree. Take care of the tree, the garden, but let the woman bring food. So when you see a man kwa soko ananunua nyanya, ananunua vitunguu, that is a useless man, unless you just want to do a surprise.
Boss, sio mapenzi?
Ni ujinga.
Is that not love?
Fanya hivyo mwanamke mwenye ana akili.
Kosana
na yeye uone ile matusa
is that not, caring?
That is not caring, that is stupidity.
Is that not sharing
responsibility? Yes, in a stupidity way.
Okay.
Ngojea, wait until the day you will disagree. Wait for the insult you will hear. What kind of a man are you who even buy nyanyas and kitunguu here? Are you even a man? Yes. Hi, no.
The masculinity part, I want
responsibility of a man to a woman. A woman wants to see godliness in you. That's why she's looking for God-fearing. What is the godliness? The godliness. It's not prayers. Praying does not make you godliness. No. There are things that makes a man present godliness. Number one, to be tested your godliness level, it is how much you speak. Women don't like men who speak a lot, because even God does not speak too much. Have you ever heard God speaking too much? No. God speaks once in a while, but the actions of God are daily and every time. Sometimes a woman just feels good when a man is in the house and is very silent.
The ministry of presence.
That's it.
You're just there to minister by your presence.
Yes. Sometimes a woman feels so happy when you are present but you are absent. You are present and you are absent. We feel the presence of God but we don't see God, and we feel so happy. A woman wants that. Remember, you are created in the image of God and the likeness of God. That is number two that a woman is looking for. Which takes us back to their riddle, to their saying, I'm looking for God-fearing man. God-fearing, not God-praying. Ask every woman, will tell you, I'm looking for God-fearing man, not God-praying man. So first, a man should be a person of less word. When you go back home, be a person of less word, even when there are crises. Because your silence is an act of wisdom. Your silence is an act of authority. You are in the house, lakini kila mtu anajinyorosha, but you are not talking. But you will find many men, they go quiet when they have disagreed with the women. Women don't love that. Can I show you an example in the Bible?
Yes.
Show me any woman in the Bible that God ever talked to directly. he could use somebody or something. Either an angel or a prophet. Show me. Because God respects the distance between him and women. He has kept that distance. That's why even to Mary, he sent Gabriel. He would have come himself. Even to Miriam and Aaron, he spoke when Moses was there. And he said, you two people, if it is Moses, I speak eye to eye, mouth to mouth. Why couldn't you respect that? Did Miriam respond back to God? So women want to see a godly. They know you are an image of God. Can't they see that godliness in you? Because it is from that point she feels that she's serving a master during the sex. But if she doesn't find mastership in you, my friend, she will go outside there because she wants to serve a master. But she's not seeing mastership in you. So a real man must be somebody who speaks very less. Very less. Be available, but be less.
When is this voice going to be heard?
We normally say this. The best room for a man, do you know what it is? Bedroom. A real man, when he comes home, greet your children, find out if they are okay, go straight to the bedroom, lock yourself there. You just don't know the volume of joy you are bringing in this house. When it's time for food, come out, sit with your family, eat with them, joke with them, laugh with them, if you have that time. And that does not mean you should not sit with your people, but minimize. Do you know what? This woman feels the presence of a man. Go back to the Bible. Can I prove it? The Samaritan woman had left the man where? In the sitting room or bedroom. And Jesus told her, I can see the woman you have left in your bedroom is not yours. So a man walk in the house, greet people, find out if they're okay, have good names for your people if you love them. If you have a daughter, call her mom, how are you? If you have men, call them real names of men. Don't call their children Majinao. Call them sir, call them baba. If they don't hear those names from you, whom they look at as a role model, where else do you want them to hear those names? Hug them when you come home. Hug them, give them the hug. Let them feel the warmth of your sweat, but also disappear into the sin.
When will my voice be heard? When
silence talks louder than a voice.
Than shouting.
Whoa. Silence. Wise people speak in silence. Foolish speak in shouting. Yes.
So it's not the volume.
It's not the volume. Wise people, they speak little and they keep quiet for long. Foolish people, they talk. And let me tell you, if you want to trigger more quarrel, open your mouth. But if you want to send signals and signs and communication, shut your mouth. The longer you keep quiet, the disciplinary you are to your family. But if you think speaking from morning until the following day morning, now people respect you.
And shouting from the gate.
They end up taking you as a fool, because out of too much words, the foolishness of a man is identified. That's why police, they normally advise you when they arrest you, keep quiet. Anything you speak shall be used against you. And that's why police will force you to write a statement and talk. But when you keep quiet, they get confused, because they don't know what you have, what you know, and if you know what they know, and if they have any hidden agenda, they don't know if you know.
Culture at some point, will dictate that you need to be heard.
In life,
and when you say you need to be heard, it means
in life,
vocally.
In our normal life, when a man is too much talkative, what do we normally tell him? Get the point? Ushaisikia mwanamke akiambiwa wewe unaongeaje kama mbaba? Why are you talking too much like a woman? Look at that. You see, the Bible says a quarrelsome woman. I don't know why they didn't write a quarrelsome man. Because a man should not be quarrelsome.
Yes.
That thing is wrong and I don't want it. That's it.
That's enough.
Yes. That thing is wrong and I don't want it. And the reason why I don't want it, if you do it, it will bring A, B, C, D, and I don't want that. Are we clear? And the answer is yes. And the case is done. You did this, and I said whoever does this, the punishment will be this. Did you do it intentionally or what? Explain to me what caused that. That's why Solomon is listening to the case and he's just quiet. Just quiet, just quiet, just quiet. And then when it is time to talk, he says, you know what, you are wasting my time. Get me a sword. Bring the dead child here. Bring the living child here. This is what we are going to do. Each one of you will have one piece. So each one of you will have a piece of the dead child and a piece of the living child. And another one will have the piece of the living child and the piece of the dead child. What is your opinion, woman? Yes, king. Yes, king. It was out of her many words the king realized this one is a liar. About you, my lord, give her the child. Give her the living child. I will bury the dead one. Let that child live. Then Solomon was able to know the pain of a true mother could not allow that child to die. But the fake one wanted to be equal with the other one. We better, all of us will lose. So this dead one is for this one. And then Solomon told him, woman, never play with my psychology again. If you are truly the mother of that child who is living, you would have not allowed that child to be killed. But because you are the mother of the dead one, you want to be equal with this one. Take your dead body and go. Getting the point? So, silency is an act. That's why you see in parliament, they discuss issues, but when they go overboard, the speaker says, order, silence, order. Why is he silencing them and it's a place of discussion? Because too much words is not discussion. So a man should be someone of less words.
But again, when you get to that point, and we are looking at Men's Mental Month, here we are. And what are we looking at? What are we having here? We are having people who are silent, and when they are silent, they are ending up in depression.
No.
Because the thing is,
a silenced man will never be in depression.
They are not speaking out.
Listen to me.
When is it time to speak out?
A silent man.
And when is it time to use volume?
A silent man is different from a quiet man. A quiet man will end up in depression. Because to be quiet, it's a character. To be silent, it's wisdom. Because when you are silent, all the power goes to the brain. So your brains are talking. But the mouth is not uttering words. So you are so much on watch. You can see even hidden things because you are a silent person. But when you are a quiet person, you are just quiet. Something that is quiet is something that has gone low. Have you ever had noise in bank? So is it a quiet place or a silent place?
It's a silent place.
If you go to places where they don't need noise, do they write there, silence, be quiet? They say silence. So I've said be silent. I've not said be quiet.
Be quiet.
Because when you are silent, you are watching. Look at Christ. When he was brought before Herod and Pilate, what did he do? He went silent, but he did not go quiet. Because when they asked him silly questions, he responded back to them in their silliness. You know, if I ask you a question and you tell me you are the one who have said, what does that mean? So you be silent. They say still waters.
Run deep.
And even the Bible says stand still. Not firm, stand still. And you shall know that I am your God. So a man, I've said, a woman is looking at something in a man. One, it's what can rule her. And we have already tackled that briefly. Okay?
Yes.
Now the second thing she's looking in a man, it is the godliness. Godliness. So one form of godliness, it's when you are a silent man. Because our God is very silent. He doesn't make noise. Look at the nature of God, even through the Bible and even in our own life. God does not make noise. If he was a God who makes noise, he would have sent Elijah and John the Baptist and go and tell him, go down and tell them you are the Elijah. And if they joke, set fire, okay? But look at our God, a silent God. Look at Jesus. He left everything. Look at the life he lives on earth. Yet he's the Son of the Most High God. A silent. So real men must be silent. And not silent in talking. You must be silent even with your finances. Don't be mbwakni. You have found 5,000, come home. Oh my dear, you know what, my dear, I have 5,000. A woman looks at you and is like, a woman respect the law of a man who is full of side prices. And that's why we normally say, when you are a man, even when you are going to your house, never update people you are coming. When they think you are far, let them find you knocking at the door. If someone comes and tell you know what, I would like to date you, the woman will say, hey, I don't want to get in a mess. Why? That man, I don't know how he will catch me. If you are a man, never be predictable. Baby, how are you? You know, it is end month. I'll be coming on 30th. I believe at 6 I'll be there. My friend, that's when somebody will be told, tomorrow morning, pack your things and go. This idiot is coming. A man, you don't knock the door. You cough at the door. Fungua. If you are asked ni nani huyo, cough again. If she can't realize your voice, raise a question.
You don't.
There is a voice somewhere.
You don't rule. You don't dominate.
You don't rule.
You don't dominate.
Yes. Somebody will say, now this prophet is teaching men what kind of a lesson? But that is the truth. Because every woman is fighting for one thing. The reason why she cannot submit is because she wants to rule.
Okay.
A woman who is not submitting, what is she after? Ruling. And when a woman rules you, the value of being a husband is over. After she starts ruling you, she starts thinking of whom can I submit? Because she gets satisfied when she's
bowing down.
So you must prove and confirm you are the authority, but not with violence. A violence man is stupid. Maybe let me use that. A man, you don't need to be violent to a woman. Being violent does not prove that you have power. No.
But there are those who say that at some point they need to be slapped a little bit. They need
those are those. But I'm talking about the mind of
God. Now, yeah, good one.
Because God would have asked Adam, and when this woman lied to you, why didn't you slap her?
Those are those. But again,
you know,
bringing in the aspect of God.
If you slap a woman because you are standing on your throne,
ground, yes,
she will understand. In fact, a wise woman will come to ask for forgiveness. I'm sorry. Because when she's alone, she will understand she provoked you to get to that level. But not that that's your nature.
Yes.
So that's what I'm saying. Don't be abusive. For example, you are my wife. I talk and you talk. I talk and you talk. I talk and you talk. I tell you, please, shut up your mouth. Just allow me finish what I'm telling. No, you cannot do that. Now you provoke my anger. Because our God is a God of wrath.
Yes.
So in a man there is wrath. So you have provoked wrath. Remember, everything that God has, a man has it. Because he was created in the image of God. So a man has wrath. Because our God is a God of wrath. But when does we feel his wrath? When we have disobeyed him beyond the levels that he can take. So I tell you, you know what? When I'm talking, I just prefer you keep quiet. Then listen to me and let's cancel that matter. When I'm down, bring your point. I will listen to you. I've already told you how I want to handle things. But here I'm telling you, I don't like the house being dirty, and I'm talking and you're talking, I'm talking and you're talking, I'm talking and you're talking. Then the wrath of God, that is inbuilt thing in a man, arises. Then I slap you. Then I tell you the reason why I've slapped you is because next time when I'm talking, don't talk. When I'm talking, don't talk. What have I done? I've slapped you. I've not fought with you. Because to a fellow man I will not slap. We will fight. So you see, even slapping you, I've controlled my level. Unless now you go beyond, you want to fight with me. Yes. And if you get to that, nitakupiga kipigo chenye haujawahi pigwa. Ndio next time usijaribu. Because you have no right to fight with me as a wife. Or as a woman. You have no right. But also me being a man, it does not allow me to abuse you. God doesn't love it that way. But when you pass the level, God has a right. He has given me a right. That wrath will rise to tone you down. How about if I talk and you are quiet? Why should I slap you? Then it means that also I don't control myself. Yes. And God says in everything we should be moderate. That's how God looks at things. We should be moderate. So I should not beat you because I'm a man. But I should raise my voice. How about my issue is this kind of lifestyle you're living. I don't like it. Stop it. You repeat it. Stop it. You repeat it. And now I want to streamline these things. You want to bring an argument. What happens to that? So the narrative that you have to beat a woman as a sign of love, that is foolishness. You have to exercise and keep the law, because God sees you as a ruler. And you have to rule things straight. And I said the work of a ruler is to draw a straight horizontal line, or a vertical line, or a diagonal line. Simple. A ruler cannot make a circle.
Now, as we continue, there is this comment that lakini ukinyamaza sana pia hawa wenzetu watakukanyaga hadi shingo au sio? Anyway, some battles are won by silence. You know,
unajua,
the silence part of it.
I've said the Bible says and the Lord says everything should be moderate. Why are you silent? Are you silent because you are avoiding that thing? No. You are silent because you are getting the root of that thing. Because out of silence, wisdom worketh. Wisdom
worketh.
Yes. Out of silence, the wisdom worketh. But out of too much words, quarrels will increase.
Yes.
Out of too many arguments, the war will begin. So when you are silent because you are trying to look at that thing. So that as the man of the house, as the man of the family, you bring up an order that will streamline that thing. Or you come up with a solution to it. That's the reason why you are quiet.
How are we going to rescue this man who happens to be in that situation whereby, one, society dictates that, you know, you cannot even tell the other party anything, or they cannot even bow down or subdue to
Society
authority.
and traditions are mindsets of people given authority to dominate other people. But I am talking from the perspective of the Creator to a man.
Yes.
I'm talking from the perspective of Creator to a woman. So once you bring in society, you will miss the point. But when you bring in the mind of God, you will get the picture. So I'm talking of what a woman cannot talk about, but she's looking for it. She gets it. Your status of finance does not matter. She finds it in you. You know, there is no man who has ever married 5 women at a time, at once. But when you find a man with 4 or 5 women, it means the woman who came second knew there was another woman.
Yes.
But she chose. The one who came third knew there was another second woman, but she made up a decision. The one who came fourth knew there was a third woman. But what makes these human beings called women to decide and stick? Look at the Bible in the book of Isaiah chapter 4. Let's go to the book of Isaiah chapter 4. Verse 1. What does it say?
And in that day 7 women shall take hold of one man, saying, we will eat our own bread and provide our own apparel. Only let us be called by your name, to take away our reproach of being unmarried.
My version says, in that day 7 women will take hold of one man and say, we will eat our own food and provide our own clothes. Only let us be called by your name. Take away our disgrace. This from the word grace.
Grace.
So what is grace?
The man.
The glory of God. There is no day the grace of a man has been upon God, but the grace of God has been upon man. And the grace of God was upon Abraham, and the grace of God was upon David. But there's no single day the grace of Abraham has ever been upon God. So they are saying there is a grace that they are looking for from a certain man. The Bible does not say all men. Get that. The Bible does not say and 7 women will go for men. It says 7 women will go for one man. So it will be many men, but there's just one who has that grace, which can take away their disgrace. So this is not for every man. Yes, it's not for every man. It's for specific men who carries the grace that can take away the disgrace. But remember, these are not just women, my friend. These are not women who sit waiting for your food. These are not women who are waiting for you to buy them clothes.
They are well set.
They are women who can get food by themselves and clothe themselves. But there is a disgrace that can be removed by a man who has the grace. So these are not just puppet women. They are not randa women. They are women of substance. They are women of quality. Women who knows how to clothe themselves. Women who knows how to feed themselves. But they want a grace that comes with your name. So this man has a name. A name that is carrying the grace. So when they attach themselves with the name of this man, the disgrace is taken away from them. So people have missed the book of Isaiah. Some men says that in the last days that will be the pattern. No, it's not for every man. No, it's not for every man.
You must be a custodian of grace.
You must be a custodian of
For
grace
it to be found
that is
there.
attached with your name as a man. Getting the point? So, these are the things that I'm discussing here as a prophet. From the perspective of God's creation and what is inside a woman, but they don't talk about it. But they are keenly looking at it. You see? So, a woman doesn't care your status financially, because every woman believes she can make wealth.
Yes.
Every daughter of Sarah is not interested with your gold and silver, because they themselves, they are custodian of gold and silver. They can make it, but they are looking at the nature of the Abraham they are meeting. They are looking at the nature of the Abraham they are meeting. So, first, what kind of a man are you? There are so many women outside here who have lived in marriage. They are even 40 and 50 and 60 years in marriage. They have grandchildren. But if you sit down with them and tell them, with all these children, have you ever reached a point of ejaculation? A woman will ask you, do even women ejaculate? Because this man never made her know that women can ejaculate. The day she messes up, and she does, that marriage is done. Because what comes into their mind ni ile msemo ya Wajaluo kwamba nyani ama simba anakaa kwa miwa na hajui miwa ni tamu. So she has been living thinking that this is life. That's why it is your duty as a man, sexually, you have to make sure that your wife ejaculates. There's no two way about it. And that's why real men must be trained that you have to wait, preserve your sperms until the woman ejaculates. That's when you use sperm. But there are men who have never been taught that. So they think when you are doing sex with a woman, it is all about you. That is being selfish. When you ejaculate, now she's done. Who taught you? That's the real life.
Looking at it from this point.
And allow me to speak something. For a woman to ejaculate, it's not how hard and firm you are. No. It is how you penetrate in her mind. Sex is mind. Sex is mind. Because you can be as far, you can be as firm as you think with Viagras and everything, but she is in pain. She's not in pain because probably you are making paths and all that. No, she's in pain because you are not triggering the minds. She cannot lubricate. There's no mindset. She's not lubricating. She's becoming dry. The body is made of tissues. So there is tear and
wear.
She is in pain of tear and wears because she cannot lubricate. You can't make her lubricate. Why? Because of maybe some small things that you have never taken caution on. For example, you are a man who has a problem with your mouth. You know, there are some human beings, when they breathe to you, you ask, when did they sit? When do we have a problem with sewer line?
Sewer line around.
Now let's imagine you are that kind of a man. Your hygiene level, you know, you take Moratina, you take every nonsense, beer, you smoke. What you are breathing in the blanket, it is tear gas. Now she's wondering, am I in protest? Am I in Nairobi protesting? Tear gas is being sent to me. And then you expect this human being to settle psychologically until she reaches a point of ejaculation. She will not. That's when you meet some crazy women, they will tell you one thing: finish, you cover me. In Kijaluo we say, take money uma. Finish, Cover me. Because now to her, sex is not about enjoyment. It's a ritual. It's a duty. It's a ritual, it's a duty. Because you don't have things that can trigger this woman. Your hygiene, there are some men who don't take shower in the evening. He comes back with all the sweat of the day, looking for bread. You come back, you want to go to the bed like that. Kwa msichana wa nani? Na labda kwao, maybe she was brought up in a place whereby taking shower in the evening was a must. That was the law of her mother. You, have you taken your shower? No. Stand up, go and take a shower. She grew up like that. You are a donkey that goes out and come and you want to go to the bed like that. Do you know what? When you want to think of sex, she tried to imagine how
With
dirty
what?
you are sexually. Because she can remember 2 days you have not even taken a shower. So even as you are coming to her, yeye anaona ni uchafu unaenda kumpatia. She's feeling nothing.
You are a being,
but
not
because
a
you are the
being.
man,
Yes.
finish, we close this chapter. Getting the point?
Yes.
So there are men outside here who are married and even have grandchildren, and their wives never experience ejaculation. Because it's not how firm or how hard you are. It is how you penetrate in her mind, her emotions. You are a man who don't even know how to dress. You just dress whatever you meet on the way. Is that what? You dress yellow, you put red on top. You look rainbow every day. And when she walks outside here, she sees sons of men who are well kept.
Sons of Solomon.
Sons of Solomon who are well kept, you know, well groomed. She looks at them and she's like, Lord, what sin did I commit that you gave me a baboon to be a husband? What sin did I commit that you only chose baboon for me?
Yes.
When there were zebras with colors and cheetahs and leopard with spots. But you just chose to give me baboon. What wrong did I do? That's when you find a woman is praying for her freedom. Do you know the freedom of a woman is your death?
Yes.
Because according to the Lord, it's until you die.
Until death.
You know? So she starts praying for your death. And God reaches a point when he tells the woman, my daughter, I will not allow you to live in prison. Get out. That's when she gets the power to walk out of that marriage. She walks out, she will never come back.
Okay. Granted.
Granted. Permission granted from heaven. She walks out.
Because of a baboon.
Because even God knows he did not create a baboon. And he knows all the baboon he created there in the wilderness, not in a house. They're in the forest, in the jungle.
So, from that point now,
a real man tells the wife, tomorrow I'll be going to work. Select for me clothes that I'll put on tomorrow. He dresses, he asks the wife, how do I look? The wife says, you look good. My friend, hata kama unakaa unakaa confused matches of color, and it is good to her, she has a desire in you.
yes.
Wewe ulivaa shati hii Monday, ukatoa usiku, ukaenda kulala, ukaamka asubuhi, ukarudia hiyo the same shirt. Sasa akiamka anaona mama wengine wanafua, yeye hana kitu ya kufua. Because nguo chafu ndio unachukuanga ukivaa ukiendanga tunazo. What will make her not to start washing for other people?
Yes. I'd like us now to go into this part of the critical baboon, if I would use that word. This male, and biologically not male, if I would put it that way, who, yes, is part of God's creation and happens to fall under the God part of creation. This person doesn't know anything to do with dominion and stewardship. And if they know, it's a matter of choice that they have decided not to, one, dominate to and become, to steward. And I'm talking about, looking at people who have negated their responsibility in terms of what they have been ordained by God to do. Yes, they have produced, they have filled, but they have not become stewards of what they have produced, and they are not dominating what they have produced.
About dominion to a woman, I'm talking of women because the subject is about men.
Yes.
So I'm using the women so that the men can see.
Yes.
One thing about women looking at a man, all women have got one thing. It's not about where they are. Women are not interested with where they are. Women are never terrified with where they are. Women are only terrified by one thing. Leadership to a woman from a man, it is not where the man is. It is where the man is going. A woman has got only one fear. Where am I going to?
Yes.
Not where am I? Yes. A woman who has interest with your life is cautious on where she's heading to.
Where are you taking her? Where are you taking
Where
her?
are we heading to?
Where are you headed?
Once a woman knows where you are heading to, she'll be contented. But even if you have the whole world and she doesn't know where she's heading to, she's not at peace. Security of a woman, it's where she will be tomorrow, not where she is today. Tell a woman where she will be tomorrow, she will follow you. And that's why a man must know how to lie kidogo.
Oh.
A man must know how to lie. If you are a man and you don't know how to lie, you cannot rule a woman.
Okay.
Don't cheat, but lie. These are two different things.
What's the difference?
To cheat is to speak opposite. To lie is to speak that very thing, but not very open. So lie. That's why you see God say he's not a man to lie. So even God knows that a man lies. So when a man lies, it's part of his nature. And every woman enjoys lies of a man.
Oh.
But have limits. Don't lie too much. Because sometimes you just want to hear that lie. You speak the lie, alafu anakuangalia, alafu anacheka kabisa. Do you know why she's lying? She's laughing. She's laughing at the lies. You come back home, she knows you are on the phone talking to another person somewhere. I don't know who is the person. But she pretends like she wants to pass. You have switched the phone back to the ball. She looks at you and she laughs. Because a woman is very clever. Very clever. Before you do something, a woman has an idea. But how do you control her? Lies. That's why Satan had to lie to Eve for Eve to take the fruit, not the truth. A man who doesn't know how to lie cannot marry. Which woman will come into your life? You know very well you have problems, you are sleeping down, you are jobless, you don't have clothes, you don't have a home, you don't have anything, and then you go, excuse me, my name is Njoroge, I don't have a job, I can't eat, I slept hungry yesterday, can I marry you? Which woman will say yes?
They'll flee.
Just tell her, I have so much money that even I don't know where to put others. Don't look at me the way I'm putting on like this. I just put on this status so that people cannot attack me.
Yes. I need a manager.
If I dress well, people will attack me. I have so many enemies because of the monies I have. Actually, I just decided, I was supposed to live in Runda. I was supposed to live in Lavington. But I just looked at my life and I said, I just want to be very simple. That's why I decided to stay in Madare, so that I can mingle and know life. My friend, she knows you are lying, but she's gauging those lies. Eventually, she will say yes. Go to a woman, tell a woman, unless she's a gold digger. I live in Runda, I live in this, I'm the manager, I'm earning 40 million, she will look at you and she see a man of ego, a man of pride. That's not what she wants. She wants somebody she can start with him from somewhere. She wants to have value in life. Even things you can do in 1 week, in 1 month, stretch them. What you can do in 1 month, do it in 2 years. That woman has confidence in you. But just come even 1 week, change the entire house, renovate the entire house, change everything. Unless that woman was a gold digger, she will raise a question mark. And the first thing she will want to know, it's your source of your money. Where do you get this money from? She will not reject the money. Even as she receives, she has a question mark with it. Unless the person you met is a gold digger. But if it's just a daughter of Sarah looking for her Abraham, my friend, she will raise a question mark. She will raise a question mark. Getting the point?
Getting the point.
So, the wisdom, look, even Solomon is accredited wisdom by combining the plan and a lie. When he said, bring these 2 children, we kill the living and we cut the living and the dead. That's not what he wanted to do. But he used a lie to get the truth. That's why God says, I am not a man
To lie.
And God has never said, I'm not a woman. So when we say that Eve lied to Adam, that is wrong. Eve cheated Adam. He did not lie. She did not lie. She cheated. Because she knew she had eaten the fruit.
Yes.
And some things had started changing in her. But she decided to cheat by cheat. Cheat. Yes. So to cheat and to lie.
As we come to what's the close of this, can we help
Let me tell you something.
the male biologically?
Just allow me to elaborate the issue of lying. Do you know you can come back home and tell your wife, do you know what? I was planning to buy you a house, but I looked at it. I just thought I should buy you a cloth first. Please receive it as a gift. But I felt you should come first. When you know very well, you still don't have money for the house. But the soul of this partner of yours is melting with joy. Because if by lies they failed, by lies they shall live. But don't lie too much. Don't lie too much.
If by lies
they failed, by lies they will live.
Can you elaborate on that?
But how did Eve fail? What did serpent use for her to eat that fruit? Which technique did serpent use?
Will that be a reason that most of the time that they will be lied to, they will be accepting the lie because what's their basis of falling?
That is their nature. Now look at this. When a man tells a woman, my sweetheart, I've not slept today, I was just thinking of you, I've lost appetite, do you think that is truth? When a man tells a woman, you are the most beautiful in the world, are you sure? When a man buys a woman a cloth and tells a woman, you look like a queen, is she a queen? Does a queen look like a queen or a queen is a queen? But she's just looking like a queen, but she's not the queen.
Yes.
So where do you classify that?
It's a lie.
There is always two sides of coin. And there is always two sides of things. The positive side
And the
and the negative side. So there is the negative lies. That's what I'm saying. Don't lie too much, but take the positive lies. These positive lies build, it encourages, it motivates, it brings hope.
Trying to work out of it.
You know? You know, there was a day a friend of mine was walking with his wife. Then there was another woman who passed, and he looked back, and the woman asked him, I can see you are looking at that woman's battle. And he said, yes, I looked at her and I looked at yours and I said, oh my God, you gave me the best. The woman started laughing. I get to the point.
Yes.
Because and he told her, how can I see yours to be the best if I don't look at others?
So it happens to be one of the oldest habits in the Bible, from Abraham lying to the king.
Yes, because a man must lie to survive in this world. That's why God says in his word, I am not a man to lie. So God is saying he's not a man to do what?
To lie.
So what makes God not to be a man? It's lying. And what makes a man to be a man? Lying. So what makes God not to be a man is lying. You know, I've said that thing, I'm seeing the angels laughing at me, but that's the truth. What makes God not to be a man? It is
lying.
And what makes a man to be a man is
lying.
That's why Adam lied. Adam, where are you? I'm hiding behind the tree. What was that?
It's a lie.
Why are you hiding? I'm naked. Who told you are naked? The woman you gave me. Did the woman tell Adam you are naked? Lies. So intelligence of a man is in the little lies. We all know, if Ruto would have not lied to Kenyans, he would have not been a president. And once I rated his lies, I just knew this man will be a problem. You know, politicians we have today in the parliament, without lies, they cannot be there. That's the system. That's why Jesus is not a man. That's why he never lied. If Jesus would have lied even a single day, automatically he's a man, not a son of God. So a man will lie. But there are two sides of lies. The negative lie, which is very dangerous. A wise man should escape it and avoid it. And the positive lies. Just the way a child will come to you, Daddy, when are we going to buy a car? When are we going to buy a car? Can you tell your child, no, we are very poor. For us, we cannot afford a car. Stop that. Can you tell your child that? You tell your child, Mommy, don't worry. Daddy will look for money and will buy a car. When you know very well, even the rent you have not paid. What are you doing to this child? You are lying, but that's a positive lie. Oh, mommy, Daddy doesn't have money right now, but Daddy will take you to school. When you grow up, you will buy Daddy a car. Are you speaking truth or you are lying? You are lying, but you are using a positive lie to bring hope. The child will start going to school knowing, I have to learn and buy my father a car. And one day when that child grows up, he buys you a car to fulfill what you inserted in it. But you didn't show the child that you yourself, you don't have power to buy it. You used positive lies. So a woman expects to be lied to, but positively. I normally tell men sometimes, even when the salt is too much, just say the food was very sweet except some little salt. You don't just say, hey, hii chakula kwani ulikuwa unapikia mambuzi hapa? That is an insult, my friend. that small statement of yours can turn that house into a arena of battles. Because remember, a woman don't ask for battles. She don't ask for war. They carry the war in their hizo person unaona kwa mama anabeba inabebanga both physical and spiritual things. Yes. You see this pouch they keep on carrying.
Yes.
Those pouches carry how many things?
2.
In those pouches there are spiritual items and physical items. To disagree with a woman, she will not go and look for the disagreement in the bank. She withdrew it long time ago. It's in that small pouch. So you have to tread carefully.
Live with her with understanding.
She will just remove it and serve you and even tell you, beat me if you want to beat me. So it is you to trade. Hiyo bag unaonanga wanabeba na waachangi. Imebeba both spiritual
and physical.
So it is you to decide what you want to be served from that pouch. My friend, when you see a woman carrying a bag, mwambie, hey, nasikia mimi na numa natamani toothpick. Utasikia unaambia toothpick, just a minute. It will come from there. The same way toothpick inatoka hapo, it's the same way the spear is inside there, the spiritual one. Make a joke, you will see, if you will not leave that place crying. Na haja kugonga, amechukua tu spiritual spear akakudunga nayo. That's why the Bible said they are weak objects. One must tread careful.
Proverbs 27:17. Iron sharpens iron, so a man sharpens the countenance of his friend. So here we are talking about the man who happens also to be very much human and can fall. How is a man going to pick up a fellow man? And how is man just going to be brutal enough to a fellow man and outrightly tell them, this one you are going wrong, this one you are doing it wrong? And again, in the same context, these are gods now. We are talking about people who have negated their responsibilities. But when it comes to being corrected, when it comes to being shown the way, Proverbs 17, as iron sharpens iron, not wood sharpening iron, iron sharpening iron. So I'm looking at a situation whereby man helping another man, because it won't be a woman helping the man, but man helping a fellow man to rise up, to take on the God-given intended responsibility.
Let me tell you something.
Yes.
A man is never a friend of another man. A man is never a friend of a fellow man. A man is never a friend of a fellow man. But a man can be compatible with another man, but not friends. If a man was a friend of another man, then the prophecy of David would have been nullified. He who ate and drank with me on the same cup has betrayed me. But a man can be compatible with another man depending on 3 things: faith. If we have the same faith, we'll become compatible and we live like brothers. That is the time I can sharpen you, and that's the time you can sharpen me. Faith. What do we believe in? Do you believe in what I believe? Then we become compatible. So it's the compatibility that people call friendship, but there's no friendship. There's no friendship in men. Faith. Do we believe in the same thing?
Yes.
Second, desire. what do you want? What you want might be what I want. So because we have the common want, we become compatible. The compatibility is what brings friendship. That's why a brother can turn against a brother, by faith or the desire. Then the last, the wilderness. Remember, a man is a warrior, a man is a warrior, a man is a worshipper. So those three things can make men look like they are friends. The wilderness you are facing might be the wilderness I'm facing. So because of having common wilderness, we become compatible. The enemy you are fighting might be the same enemy I'm fighting. Because we have a common enemy, we become friends. We become compatible. The day the enemy comes to an end, it is done. So the only person that a man can be a friend to is a woman, not a fellow man. Because there is no day men will ever be compatible, will ever come together emotionally. No. So they say in physics, like charges
attract,
and like charges repel. And like charges attract, like charges repel. So there is no day a fellow man will ever be emotionally attached to another man and they become friends. It's the three things: the warrior part, the warrior part, and the faith part,
which is worship.
I love sorcerers, you love sorcerers. We'll become friends because we all love sorcerers. I love Christ, you love Christ. That's why we are seated here. That's why, Moses, you can travel all the way from Limuru. You are here for this program and you want to drive again back to Limuru.
Yes.
And you don't feel Limuru is very far. You have driven all the way from Limuru to Machakos.
Yes.
So that we can have this forum of men. And you want to finish this time and start driving again back to Limuru. What has made it? Faith. And nobody has fueled for you. You are using your own pockets.
Yes.
Because your faith, my faith, is common. And what we are discussing about, it has been brought by virtue that we have all of us, we have faith in God. And we are talking about men in the perspective of God. But imagine if my faith was not in God that you believe in also. What would have brought us together? That's why you see right now Kalonzo and Raila, they are not friends because their interests are not the same. But today Raila and Ruto, they are friends and they have come up with a broad government. But 2 years ago they were insulting each other. And Kalonzo and Gachagua today, they call each other cousins. 2 years ago. What is ruling them? Interest. The warrior part in them. Getting the point? Yes. So the three things, it's what control human beings. So that word, that chapter only comes, can only be materialized, it can only be executed, it can only be fulfilled if we have one or two or three of them are binding us together. Yes. Even this program today, you will find there's somebody who came to this program and he decided to switch off because faith, interest. But there's somebody somewhere who just say, oh God, thank you for that program because it has transformed me somewhere. Getting this?
Yes.
That's it. And that's why if you want to keep your sons together, teach them to make sure you bring something that can bond them together. A common interest, a common belief, a common enemy. If you don't bring that, insert that in your family, even if you had 100 sons, they will scatter and they will kill each other. That's why you see some families will start what we call family business. It ties the children together. And that's why the old-time parents, food used to be cooked at one place, served at one place. People eat from one plate, and they go and sleep at one place. Not because they couldn't separate people, but they were looking at things that can create a bond. Yeah.
So I'm still stuck at this man, this male, whose masculinity needs to be rescued. But again, it cannot be rescued by somebody or someone who is not wired like them.
You know, to rescue the masculinity of a man, it's a large program. Because it starts with the panel beating of mindset. To rescue a man, you start with his mind. A man who doesn't know his God doesn't know his himself. Regardless of how one is educated, regardless of how one is learned, regardless of the inheritance that one has or the wealth that one has made, as long as you are a man and you don't know your God, you still don't know yourself. Because man got to live because of God, but God has never lived because of a man. Now, when you withdraw yourself from your purpose of being, then you are not existing.
What do you mean by the purpose of being and the withdrawal from it?
God created a man for his own joy, but man never created God for any reason. Without God, a man cannot be there. But God was there even when a man was not there. So a man only recollects and knows himself when he connects back to his God. So a man who was withdrawn from his God must fail in life, regardless of what you attain. That's why there are some men who were so great, but they died a pathetic, shameful death because they just disconnected from God. And there are some men who were nothing, but when they went to their God, God made them worthy men. But a woman shall shine depending with the man she attached herself to, not God.
Can you repeat that statement again?
A man only becomes when he attaches himself to his maker, his creator, God. But a woman only shines based on the man she attached herself to.
What if there isn't?
Let me show you an example. David was just a flock shepherd. But when God appeared in his life, he became a king. Saul was just looking for the donkeys.
Yes.
When God came in his life, he became a king. That is men. But Abigail was a wife of a foolish man in the first place.
Yes.
But when David came into her life, she became a queen. Same woman, two different statures. In the first phase of Abigail, she's a wise woman. But because she got married to a foolish, she's nothing. She's a laughing stock. She's operating at an age of death. Imagine if she would have not met David on the road. What would have happened? She would have died because of the foolishness of her husband. But now when David marries her, is she still a wife of a foolish woman?
No.
Is she, when she was a wife of a foolish woman, anybody would have insulted her.
Yes.
Anybody would have interacted with her. But when she became the wife of David, my friend,
Status.
Status changed. So the glory of a woman is attached to the kind of a man. Isaiah chapter 4, still. A name of a man shall take away the disgrace. You're getting this?
Yes.
Esther is just an orphan there, like any other local ordinary orphan. But when she gets into the competition of the beauty in the presence of the king, and then she outdoes them, or she outdid them, what became of her? A queen. She's no longer the local ordinary orphan. You have to seek permission, appointment. No matter your age, you have to call her mom. My queen. Status changed. So that's how God has set system. So the glory of a man is attached to his God, but the glory of a woman is attached to the man.
Do you want to tell me that
Rahab is just a prostitute while in Jericho? But now when Jericho is under Israel, she's one of the great mothers of Jesus, great grandmothers of Jesus. That's how life is.
simply because she got attached to
Yes,
grace?
grace. And that's why women don't cheat, and they don't cheat themselves. They are very honest. They are looking for God-fearing man. Why are they looking for God-fearing? Unless she's a gold digger. She's a gold digger who is looking for a man with wealth. Because a woman knows, a true woman knows, a man who is attached to his God can never fail. It's a matter of time. And he's a mysterious being, because today he can be nothing, tomorrow his God can make him everything. A man who is attached to his God. Look, all richest men you have ever read in the Bible, God made them. They never made themselves. And even devil knows that. And Satan knows that.
Yeah.
When Satan went against Job, what did he tell God? Job is a hard-working man.
Yes.
He has labored. He has done business. He has all the wealth. Your work is protecting them. Is that what he told God? No. He told God, you have given him. You have given him all that he has, and you have protected him.
Yes.
He never told God, Satan never told God, God, you have allowed Job to do business,
Yes.
to do what, to multiply, to farm. You know, he has worked hard, he has acquired all these things, and now you have protected them. Satan was straight to the point. You have given him all these things. So a man who is attached to his God, God will give him ideas. He will start businesses here, put up that. Those things will change his life, because it is given from heaven. A man who is attached to God is given. And such a man can shock you. And a good example in the Bible is Obed-Edom. He was a farmer before he met the ark.
Yes.
But when he met the ark, in 3 months, he was learning the nation. Because that's what God does to men who are attached to him. Never underestimate their grace. They can surprise you. Because their supply comes from the throne of their master. And never play with a woman who is attached to a man of grace. She can shock you. Today she can pass you walking. Tomorrow she will pass you driving.
So, the part of iron, sharpening iron. In this case, it will to be applicable. The applicable part is you detach to be attached to your source.
No, the part of an iron is this. These are two ions.
Yes.
So, a warrior encourages a warrior. A warrior encourages a warrior. A worshipper will sharpen another worshipper. That's why they have to be both ions.
That is like in the case of David in the cave of Adullam.
Yes.
People who were and experiencing the same situations and same problems.
And yet in them there were warriors. Even good fighters than David himself.
Yes.
But their situation is what made them to become that. And what they had become, it's what David was also going through.
Yes.
So it was very easy for them to become compatible. And when they became compatible, they sharpened each other. And so warriors came out of them. That's the word.
For this man that we are talking about, like getting back the masculinity and rescuing everything, is just point blank.
You know, one time my mentor told me something. He told me, Lucas, in life when you want to make friends, when you meet people, don't love to ask them where they are coming from. Ask them where they are going to. Don't make friends because they are coming from where you are coming. You might be going to different places.
Yes.
Ask them if they are going where you are going. And if you find them going where you are going, make them your friends. Don't ask people, where do you come from?
Where are you headed?
Hey, I come from Moguga. I also come from there. Hey, that person might be the poison that will kill you. Ask them, where are you going to? If you discover they are going to a mouse, and because that's where you are going, then go with them.
Okay. The man, to get back to what they are meant to be, is connecting back to the source, connecting back to grace, to experience, or to go back to the reset of masculinity. That's what it is.
Yes.
There is no other way to reset.
So, start with the mindset. That's why the word of the Lord says, as a man thinketh, so shall he be. Mindset. Then purpose. Why did God create you as a man? Then expectations of God from you, which comes hand in hand with responsibilities. God never created a man to be a tourist. No, he created you for a purpose. God never created tourists, because he has never been a tourist he himself. Why should he create tourists?
What will be done can be done to them that behave and act like they are not part of the masculine. What will you do to such a person? How will you direct them to go back? The derailed ones.
How will we
help the ones that have derailed as a man?
We are already helping them by teaching them and by showing them direction. And the direction number one is go back to God.
Step one.
Yes. That is where you begin from. Reconnect yourself to the main engine. Remember, the Bible says, a man shall plan, God shall decide. He who makes a home without God, he is laboring in vain. Can you look at that? Yes. So a man without God is still a failure.
That is going back to Eden.
Yes.
Going back to the source.
A man without God is a failure.
Going back to get grace.
A man without God is failure. Regardless of the silvers you pull together, regardless of the gold you put together, without God you are still a failure. And your fall is great. That's why the book says, in the book of Revelation, God says, come to me, you who thinks that you are rich, yet you are poor. Come to me, you who think that you have clothes, yet you are naked. And then I will give you the true riches, and I will clothe you well.
As
you see, there's this thing that I want you to see, man of God. Can you imagine we are struggling to look for what God created so that we can have? We are struggling looking for gold when God himself created that gold. We are struggling looking for silver when God himself created the silver. Then why can't we just struggle to get he who created them, and then we shall have them? And that's the gospel. Seek the kingdom of God first, and all the rest shall be added unto you. Isn't that not the gospel?
There's no shortcut, there's no back door.
That's it. It's like a son who is trying to look for where the father has hidden the treasuries when the father is still alive. Why don't you just win the father's heart, and he will not look for where the treasures are hidden by him. He will show you, because he's the one. Amazing feature.
How easy, how difficult is that?
Simple. We are the most precious and the loving things that God ever created. A man who loves a woman with all his heart and soul, no matter how terrible that woman will make mistakes, as long as she doesn't compromise with her fidelity, a man will always forgive. A man who loves a woman, no matter how many mistakes that woman will make, as long as she does not cheat him with another man, your sins are always forgiven. And if she forgives you because you cheated him with another man, you are normally given the last forgiveness, the last chance. No matter what sin we make, as long as we don't replace God with other gods, he will always come back for us, because he loves us.
Repeat that one again.
A man who loves a woman, as long as that woman can make as many mistakes as she can, but as long as she does not compromise her faithfulness with another man, a man will always forgive her, because he loves. No sin perceives love except the sin of another man doing what this man should do to you. That one is the biggest crime that a man can tolerate. And if he loved you that much that he forgave you, remember, you normally have one last chance in that man. Don't crush it and think he will forgive you. To our God, no matter what sin we can make and do, as long as we don't replace him with any other God, he will always come back for us, because he can forgive. What God cannot take, it's when we bow to other gods. That one, in him, it is not just idolatry, it's also idolatry. And he may not take it.
You do that, you're good to go.
But the Bible says what? The day Saul visited sorcerers,
yes,
that's the day he died. Something that David never tried. And he committed all crimes and all sins. But God could forgive. David said, whether I am sinful or I'm not sinful, you are the only God that I will bow to. And that one does not change. Whether you are ready for me to worship you or you are not ready, I don't care. I will worship you. Whether you accept my worship or you refuse my worship, it's none of my business. My business is that I've worshipped you. Because I don't worship to please you. I worship you to satisfy myself. When I worship you, I feel satisfied. When I sing to you, I feel satisfied. When I bow to you, I feel satisfied. When I call your name, I feel complete. So I'm not doing it to please you. I'm doing it to please myself. You are the God I will serve, whether I'm right or wrong. That's why David says, even if I fall 77 times, I will still arise when it comes to you. So that is the only thing that our God does not compromise with.
So it's a matter of coming boldly.
That's why some of us, when we are so happy, we worship him. When we are very annoyed, we still worship him. When we are very encouraged by him, we worship him. Even when he has discouraged us, we still worship him. Because we made a choice, he's the only one to be worshipped. And we don't think twice about it. And nothing can ever make us think twice about that. We can choose him over anything and everything. And we don't choose him over anything and everything because it's a condition that he has said. No, we choose him over everything because it's a condition we have set to ourselves willingly. To Moses, he told him, where you have reached is a holy place. Remove your shoes. Him to us is a holy place that no one can even reach. When you try to reach there, we'll tell you, please walk away from there, because we'll destroy you. Because that place remained for him and him and him and him and him alone. And we don't think twice about it. That place is for him and him. And if it's not him, it is him. And that place, it's for him whether he wants it or he doesn't want him. Whether he wants it or he doesn't want it, that place is for him. Ushaiona mwanamke mpumbavu kwa watu kwa sababu ya mapenzi alionayo kwa mtu, mpaka watu wanamuuliza, wewe ni mjinga namna gani? Lakini si eti kwamba hawa wanaume wengine hawaoni. Anawaona, lakini kuna decision alimake.
Yes.
This is the man. And that chapter is closed. So he doesn't serve you because you are making him happy. He will still serve you even when you make him sad. Because it is a decision made. And there's no three way about it. Because hata two way ndio iko. Sasa three way ndio itakuwa.
What, as we come to a conclusion, what would you tell this man in regards to how society is seeing him and how God sees him?
There's only one way.
Not two way.
When you find your God, you find the key of everything. A man who connects with his God carries the grace. And where there is grace, there is no disgrace. Full stop.
I would like to come to the end of today's meeting, but as we conclude, a quick one here. Does it mean that single women not attached to any men are not graced to prosper?
We'll be talking about women. Today we were talking about men.
There you go.
What we need to tell our viewers is that our programs run first week, women. First Thursday, women. Second Thursday, men. Third Thursday, youth. Young people who are coming up in life. We need to talk about their issues, what they need to know. You know. So, if you have got any question pertaining women, next week we'll be doing a program, but next month is when now the programs are starting official. So wait for the first week of June. All questions that you have pertaining women, gather them, put them there. The Holy Spirit of the Lord will pass through them. Today we were dealing with issues with men, and we have just started the introduction. This was just an introduction. We're gonna go deep. We're gonna call animals by their names, and we're gonna define why hyena does not look like a lion, and a lion does not look like a donkey, and a donkey does not look like an elephant, yet they are all animals. He who created them had a reason, had a purpose. That is the meaning of this program. Bringing the sanity of the knowledge of prophets to the society. Because people have taken prophets like our work is to prophesy, prophesy. That's not what God sent us. If prophets were meant to prophesy alone, the Bible you are reading today, it will not be there. It will be full of prophecy. But it is full of instruction, direction, construction, hope, blessings, and standards of God. And it was all written by prophets. So the work of prophets is not to prophesy. I am seeing. Yes, they can do that, but that's not all. The work of the prophets is to teach people according to the heart and the mind of God, as it was prophesied by Jeremiah. And thus said the Lord, days are coming when I will send you my servants, who will teach you according to my heart and my mind.
Wow. In summary, God or man is God's unique image bearer, a spirit-wrought steward, as we've been told, a relational being, fallen, yet called to wholeness in Christ, and empowered to live out his creative design. I believe at this point now, we can be able to know and say fully that hiki kiumbe is a very, very special being. Stay here next time as we come to get started. This was just an introduction, and as we continue to learn more about on this forum about men, for men, but again for everybody out there, because it turns out it's a man thing, but he's the source, he's the grace of everything. God bless you.